Welcome to Dust World War II. At 7:30 on September 18th, 1944, Private First Class Arthur Jackson pressed against a coral outcrop on Peleliu Island, watching Japanese machine gun fire tear into the Marines to his left. He was 19 years old. 3 days on the island, 0 confirmed kills. The Japanese had constructed 12 reinforced concrete pillboxes in a half-moon arc across the southern peninsula. Each housed 5 to 35 enemy soldiers. 3 days earlier, the 1st Marine Division landed expecting a 4-day operation. Major General William Rupertus promised his men the island would be secured by the weekend. He was wrong by 70 days. On D-Day alone, nearly 1,300 Marines fell on the beaches. Colonel Kunio Nakagawa had changed tactics. No more banzai charges, no suicidal rushes into American fire. Instead, his 10,000 defenders waited inside caves, concrete bunkers, and 500 yards of connecting tunnels. They let the Americans come to them. By September 18th, the 1st Marine Regiment had suffered 70% casualties. 7 out of 10 who landed were dead or wounded. The 7th Marines, Jackson's regiment, pushed into the southern sector to clear defensive positions, blocking the advance toward the airfield. The problem was the pillboxes, built into coral ridges with 3-foot-thick walls, overlapping fields of fire. Attack 1 and 2 more cut you down from the flanks. Grenades bounced off, rifle bullets sparked and ricocheted. Rushes left bodies piled against the concrete. Jackson's platoon advanced 200 yards that morning before the left flank stalled. A large pillbox dominated the approach. Every Marine movement drew fire. 3 men had already died trying to bypass it. Tanks couldn't reach this sector. The coral ridges were too steep, approaches too narrow. Artillery risked hitting pinned Marines. Someone had to cross 150 yards of open ground and destroy it up close. The math was brutal. A man running under combat conditions covered roughly 15 yards per second. 150 yards meant 10 seconds exposed. A single Type 92 machine gun fired 450 rounds per minute, 75 bullets in 10 seconds. The pillbox had at least 2. No Marine could survive that crossing. Everyone knew it. But Jackson also knew that every minute his platoon stayed pinned, more men died. The left flank had to move, or the advance collapsed. Waiting was just another way of dying. Jackson loaded his Browning automatic rifle, BAR, with a fresh 20-round magazine, stuffed his pockets with grenades, and faced 150 yards of open coral under a sun already climbing past 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Without permission or coordination, he stood up and ran. The 19-pound BAR at hip level spat 30 caliber rounds at 550 per minute. Accuracy wasn't the goal, suppression was. Japanese gunners swiveled toward him. Bullets cracked past his head. Coral chips exploded at his feet. Jackson kept the trigger pressed, sweeping across the firing slit to force heads down. 100 yards, 80, 60. His magazine emptied. He dropped behind a boulder, slammed in another, and ran again. Fire intensified. 40 yards, 30, 20. At close range, the pillbox's geometry betrayed its defenders. The firing slits limited angles. Jackson reached the blind spot beside the main aperture. He shoved a white phosphorus grenade through the slit. Screams erupted instantly. Japanese soldiers stumbled out burning. Ammunition belts cooked off. Jackson cut them down with the BAR. Phosphorus wouldn't kill all 35 inside. Some retreated deeper. Others returned fire through secondary slits. Another Marine had followed with 40 pounds of composition C2 plastic explosive. Jackson shoved the entire package through the slit with its 30-second fuse, then dove into a shell crater, curling tight. The blast lifted the pillbox off its foundation. Concrete, logs, and body parts flew 60 feet skyward. Debris rained. A football-sized chunk landed inches from his head. When dust settled, the pillbox was gone. 35 Japanese dead. Jackson stood, ears ringing, hands shaking, but alive. 11 more pillboxes still poured fire into Marine lines. Logic said return, report. Let others handle the rest. Jackson reloaded, checked grenades, and walked toward the next. The second pillbox, smaller, 5 soldiers, 2 machine guns, sat 80 yards northwest. Surprise was lost. The explosion had alerted everyone. Jackson used terrain. Jagged coral ridges created channels blocking angles. He crawled the last 30 yards, dragged his BAR, counted grenade throws, then pressed against the wall. Phosphorus was gone, but he found the 4-inch ventilation shaft in the roof. He climbed up, shoved the BAR muzzle in, emptied a magazine downward. Ricochets killed the defenders inside. Reloaded, fired again. Silence. 2 down. The 3rd and 4th sat close, mutually supporting. Jackson sprinted the narrow 8-foot corridor where neither could bear on him, reached the 3rd, jammed the BAR into the slit, fired empty, threw his last frag grenade. Repeated on the 4th. 4 pillboxes destroyed, approximately 55 Japanese dead in under 20 minutes. His BAR overheated, jammed twice, burned his hands. No grenades left. But through smoke he saw his platoon advancing. His attack worked. If he stopped, 8 remaining pillboxes would pin them again. 3 magazines, 60 rounds for 8 bunkers. Math didn't matter. He moved. The 5th had a camouflaged rear tunnel. A Japanese soldier lunged with bayonet from behind. Jackson spun, fired from the hip, dropped him. Alerted defenders scrambled. Jackson fired full magazines into the tunnel. 3 dead inside. 5th silent. Now the Japanese knew his location, tactics, and radios coordinated. Runners moved. Orders concentrated fire on the single Marine, destroying their line. The 6th sat elevated on a 15-foot ridge, clear sight lines everywhere. A Marine rifle squad appeared. 6 men. They attacked simultaneously from 2 directions. Japanese split fire. Jackson climbed the blind side, found the vent shaft, emptied his last 20 rounds. 6th down. The squad took casualties. 1 dead, 2 wounded. But Jackson now had company. He scavenged Japanese grenades, 7 Type 97, 2 magnetic mines, and hand-loaded BAR magazines from a dead Marine's M1 Garand clips. 40 rounds. Total. A 4-0 man Japanese counterattack force advanced discipline through ridges. Jackson and 3 effective Marines engaged. His controlled bursts dropped men. The squad added aimed Garand fire. Then 3 Marine platoons erupted from behind. Crossfire devastated the Japanese. In minutes, 40 lay dead, reserve gone. Now Jackson had ammunition, grenades, and 40 Marines. The final strong point? 3 pillboxes in a triangle, approximately 30 soldiers, rifle pits connecting them. No bombardment available. Jackson organized 3 simultaneous assaults in under 2 minutes. He took the center. At 0847, 105 degrees Fahrenheit heat. Dehydration hitting. They moved. Center approach. 60 yards open. 2 Marines fell early. Jackson reached first, threw counted Type 97 grenades through slits. Both guns silenced. Climbed roof. BAR down vent shaft. Screams. Silence. Left group used satchel, charge roof, collapsed. Survivors shot. Right group struggled at reinforced entrance. Jackson sprinted across, grazed in thigh, reached blind side, dropped last 2 grenades down vent. Triangle fell in 4 minutes. Bleeding heavily, Jackson bandaged roughly and continued south. 10th pillbox. 5 defenders grenaded through vent at 0912. 11th, satchel charge from Private Henderson. 7 dead at 0921. The 12th overlooked the landing beach, its guns killing supply parties since D-Day. Jackson dragged his wounded leg, vision blurring. 3 Marines insisted on following, 1 with grenades, 1 flamethrower, 1 extra BAR. At 100 yards, suppressive fire. At 50, flamethrower closed. Jackson covered on 1 knee despite buckling leg. 3-second burst poured fire into the slit. Screams faded. At 0933, the 12th fell silent. In approximately 90 minutes, PFC Arthur Jackson destroyed 12 pillboxes, killed approximately 50 Japanese soldiers, broke the southern line, enabled the advance. Navy Corpsman dressed his through-and-through thigh wound. No artery or bone hit. He kept the leg and kept fighting. 3 days later, limping, he was back in combat. Word spread fast. Officers reported a single Marine charging positions needing company assaults. Regimental report reached Division, Corps, Admiral Nimitz. Medal of Honor recommendations submitted early October. On October 5th, 1945, war over. Japan surrendered. President Truman placed the medal around 20-year-old Jackson's neck in the White House. Citation: 12 pillboxes, 50 soldiers, conspicuous gallantry above and beyond the call of duty. Jackson returned to Oregon, married, raised family, delivered mail for the Postal Service. Quiet man with a limp. Neighbors never knew. He stayed in reserves, transferred to Army Reserve, served through Korean era, retired captain after 40 years combined service. In 1961 at Guantanamo Bay, he shot and killed a suspected Cuban spy, Ruben Sabago, in self-defense. Politics complicated it. No court-martial granted. Haunted him. Later, he spoke publicly. Schools, veterans groups, about courage, fear, survival cost. In 2011, age 86, he visited USS Peleliu, spoke to 1,000 sailors and Marines, gifted his Medal of Honor flag for the ship's Hall of Heroes alongside photos of Peleliu's 8 MOAC recipients. He was the last survivor. On June 14, 2017, Arthur Jackson died in Boise, Idaho, age 92, full honors at Idaho State Veterans Cemetery. 50 Japanese tried to stop one 19-year-old Marine on September 18, 1944. Everyone died. The Marine lived another 73 years. If this story moved you, hit that like button. Every like helps reach more viewers. Subscribe, turn on notifications. We rescue forgotten stories of real heroism every day. Drop a comment. Where are you watching from? United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia. Tell us if family served. You're part of keeping these memories alive. Thank you for watching and for making sure Arthur Jackson is never forgotten.